It took me 5 years to finally find my style, but eventually I did. So I'll be sharing some strategies so you can apply it to yourself and find your own style for free. Over the years, a lot of photographers and cinematographers have applied these strategies we'll be talking about in this video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. So before we get into the strategies of exploring how to find your style, we'll have to check in what is a style, or why should you have a style. I don't know the exact numbers, but there's a ton of photographers and cinematographers. I know you know like 10 or 20 depending on how exposed to this industry you are, but there's a ton of photographers, there's a ton of cinematographers. So finding your style is the only way to stand out. When someone sees your work on the internet, they can easily predict, they can have a higher chance of saying, I think this work looks like these guys, or it looks like hers. That's what the style does. It makes you distinct, it makes you recognizable, because there's a ton of content every day, ton of videos, ton of pictures. So finding a style, apart from the fact that it's an expression of you, it also makes you stand out. It also gives you this separation from the rest, because it's very easy to get lost in the crowd. And even with your style, you can still get lost, but having a style gives you a better chance of getting recognized, because once you look at established photographers or established cinematographers or directors, you can see that they have a style. So when you see Zack Snyder's work, when you see a dark, moody kind of film, you guess that I think this is Zack Snyder. Because personally, when I see any movie that is dark, there's this certain feeling that Zack Snyder likes to portray in his films. So you can see that's Zack Snyder's style. Now, you may be someone who enjoys shooting portraits, or you love shooting landscapes, or you love shooting product, or you love shooting real estate, architecture, doesn't matter. Or maybe how you like to color grade your work, how you like to edit. You love airy, bright pictures, dark, moody pictures, grungy pictures, there are different possibilities of editing pictures. So these are the kind of things that constitute what a style means. So let's get into the first strategy. The first strategy is make a lot of art. Now, making a lot of art is the best way, or is one of the ways to find your style, because if you don't make a lot of art, if you don't shoot different kinds of work, there's no way you can know what you really enjoy. So you have to shoot a lot. You have to shoot, if you're a cinematographer, shoot a lot of videos, if you're a photographer, shoot a good ton of pictures. Because when you repeatedly do all these things, that's when you discover, I think, in fact, you'll notice by yourself that these are the things that you love to do. Because when you take, for instance, 100 pictures, your style will begin to come out. You begin to understand that, okay, I think I love color grading this way, or I think I love this kind of composition, or I love shooting portraits more, I love shooting landscape more. But you can't really know when you have not done a lot of work. You have not explored the creative space. So making a lot of art is one of the ways, or is the first way to find your style. It's only through making a lot of art that you can have the luxury of honing your skills. The more you put into, the more you do something, the more you get better at it. It becomes second nature to you. We are lucky we are in the era of digital cameras, where you don't need to care about buying film or something. You just have your SD card and you can delete those pictures if they don't make sense to you later on. The second strategy is to experiment. Now, experimentation is doing a lot of stuff. Shoot portraits, shoot landscape, shoot commercials, shoot with a wide angle lens, shoot with a telephoto lens, shoot with a 50mm lens, edit your pictures. Just explore. You won't really know what you really want until you explore, until you try different aspects of this creative space. I was able to discover I love portrait, product photography, commercial, because I explored different genres of photography and cinematography. So until you experiment, you can't really know if you'd love that thing. Even though sometimes you can look as if that style is boring, but just try it out. Just give yourself the chance, because until you really test something, you can't really understand if it's something you really want. At the end of the day, If it's something you don't enjoy, you can always leave it behind. Nobody's judging you. But just make sure you experiment different styles of shooting, different composition, different type of lenses, different editing styles, because that's how you can really get to the point of saying, that's until you explore before you can narrow down your focus that, okay, I think after shooting events, after shooting portrait, I think I really love portrait more. Then do more of portrait and you hone your skills and sharpen it more than other genres. So experiment with different styles of photography, of cinematography. Just have fun with it. The third strategy is imitation. Now, imitation is a good way to find your style. When you are starting out, when you don't have a style, you have to imitate what is already on ground. You have to imitate what is existing already. Because when you see someone color grading in a certain way and you try to replicate it and you try to imitate it, you begin to learn what goes into it. You begin to learn how this kind of art was created. You begin to learn some tricks by yourself, because the creative industry is a personal experience. No matter how you watch a video, no matter how you watch a technique, until you put your hands on it, until you demonstrate it by yourself, before you can really understand what's going on there. So imitation gives you a starting point. It gives you an end goal. Okay, I want to make my picture look like this. Then when you try it first time, maybe you didn't get it exactly like that. Then you try it again until you get it. And now you have gotten a technique. You understand, okay, this is how to make a scene look like this. This is how to make a Rembrandt lighting. Maybe the photographer you're imitating used the Rembrandt light and you want to recreate that picture. You'll be like, okay, this is how to make a Rembrandt lighting, because now you have done it by yourself and it's part of you. In fact, you don't even need to be a beginner to imitate somebody, because I saw a picture on Pinterest, I'll pull it up on the screen now, of Ryan Gosling, and I made an imitation of that picture. From the posing to the lighting, but I changed some things. I changed just a few things. But basically, art is, I don't think there's any new art. Everything is just slight iteration, or I'll just say a version of your own. It's just like putting your own spin on it, because there's nothing new. There's no new Rembrandt light. If you do a Rembrandt lighting, someone that has 10,000 people have done it before you. So you're just doing it from your own expression. You're just making it your own, giving your own spin on it. So don't be afraid to imitate. Look up other photographers. Look up, go on Pinterest, go to websites, check pictures. As long as you don't have your style yet. But one thing you shouldn't do is make it your own. Don't begin to edit, because I see this kind of thing online where you edit another person's work. That's not a really cool thing to do. So just use their pictures as an inspiration. Use it as a guide. Okay, I want to shoot this portrait. How did they light this thing? Then you copy how they lighted it. How did they compose it? That's how you imitate. Imitate the techniques they have done. That's how you learn, by imitating the techniques. The fourth strategy is editing. Editing is one of the most, shall I say, prominent ways to show a style. Like I said earlier, when you see Zack Snyder's work, you can easily recognize it because of how he color grades it. And one thing with editing is you can make one picture look like 10 different pictures. You can give 10 different editing styles and 10 different moods because of how you edited it. So learning how to edit is one thing that will help you to find your style. Like everything else, trying different editing style will give you, at the end of the day, you begin to notice this is what you like more. I found my editing style by editing lots of pictures. So you have to edit, like I said from the first tip, make a lot of art. So when you make a lot of art, you can experiment what works for you. But one thing you should not get caught up in is staying the same way. As artists, we are also human beings. You're also a human being. You're a human being. So which means you go through change, you evolve. There are some things you love 2 years ago that you don't hate them, but you just don't enjoy them again. It's also the same with style. Style changes. As you change, your style also changes. Because art is an expression of the artist. It's what you feel inside you that you bring out to the world, and you allow other people to see. So don't get stuck in this box of, I think people really know me with dark pictures, so I can't live I can't stop doing dark pictures because, and it's something you don't enjoy any longer, you don't enjoy doing it again, then you begin to create a body of work that is not enjoyable to you. Because I believe part of the fulfillment of creating art, apart from earning a living, is to look at your work and feel proud of yourself and feel, yeah, I think I love what I've done here. Don't get caged into this process of staying the same way you were, because you also change as a human being. So you reinvent the wheel again, you find what works. So as you learn more, as you grow in your knowledge, you also change. It's inevitable, you change as you learn. So that's how it is. So don't get stuck in this process of trying to maintain a look, especially when you don't enjoy it. Don't be scared of evolve, and you appeal to new if your existing audience don't enjoy it again. There's always someone that will enjoy your work, no matter how you take it. There's someone that always gets inspired by what you do. So don't get discouraged, don't get scared of trying to stay the same. One thing you should realize also is that finding your style takes time. It takes a lot of time, depending on how much work you put into it, depending on how quickly you want to find your style. But you can't just wake up today and say, I really need to find my style, and the next day or in the next hour you have found your style. It's something that happens over is a process. You grow into it, you grow into a style, and that's by doing because making a lot of art takes time. Imitating someone takes time. Experimenting takes time. So definitely finding your style will take time. One thing I thought to mention again is that when you are working for a client, you should keep in mind that your style, sometimes some clients hire you for your style. They'll be like, wow, I love your dark pictures, so I want that style. But just make it clear or clarify, you and your clients should have an understanding, so that, because some kind of niche, like maybe real estate or corporate niches, they have a style going on there. I think bright pictures, so when you bring moody pictures, and the client will reject it. So but just have a clear understanding, because each client or each brand is different. Once some love you to show your style, they want you to just express yourself, they give you that creative freedom to do that. While some, they have a style they are working with and they want you to just, so depending on the client you work with, make it clear or have an understanding between them, so you won't have issues. So if you found this video valuable and enjoyable, give it a like and also subscribe, because it really helps the channel. I'll see you in the next one.